Welcome back, everyone. That was an insanely great set number one. Bat
So
versus
fun.
Fiona. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun with that one.
Yeah, and now we're moving into something that looks like a little more classic Series 8 here with Zordor and Slim. I'm excited to see this rematch. On Zordor's team, we have the Zapdos, the Metagross, the Zacian, the Urshifu, the Galar Moltres, and Entei. So that's pretty exciting, seeing a Zacian without the Lapras.
Yeah, for sure. This is something. Hey, we've got to resubscribe from Rollercoaster, sending in his preferred emote of choice, the ATX VGC Banacosta. If y'all got the ATX Banacosta, go ahead and use those in chat. Let Rollercoaster know how you feel about him. But yeah, Zordor, this is a variation of a team he's been using for a while. From Slim, we see something really interesting. We see the Necrozma Duskmane, as well as that P2, the Thundurus, Incineroar, Tapu Fini, and an Urshifu. So I am really excited to see kind of what these two sets of teams do. I think we've all seen some variation of Zordor's team. He really loves using the Zacian, as well as that Zapdos and the Metagross. So I'm excited to see it match up here against Slim's 6 and see how these two play against each other.
Yeah, me too. And I'm just taking a look at the items on Zordor's team, and there's a safety goggles Zapdos, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely there
As
for
well
the
as
Sun
an Assault
matchup.
Vest Metagross.
Yeah, AV Meta, that's something I know we've all seen him use over the last couple of weeks in the ATX ladder tours on Thursday nights. That's something that I've been amazed at how little damage gets done into it, but you also don't have to be worried about proccing a weakness policy, which is really nice when
True.
playing against it.
Yeah, I've been burned by an AV Metagross expecting a weakness policy before, so it does happen. You can't really, it takes a lot to take it out.
Yeah, so here we go. Game number one, set number two. We've got Bigslim leading off with the Incineroar and that Porygon 2 against Zordor's double Cantonian. I guess it's not really, it's the Galarian Moltres, but the double birds in Zapdos and Galarian Moltres.
Yeah, it's really interesting here. I don't know how much damage this Zapdos is threatening right off the bat. Of course, that Galarian Moltres can go for something like a Fiery Wrath and try to get the flinch. But of course, that Incineroar is threatening Fake Out Pressure, which may allow that Porygon 2 to go ahead and set up Trick Room for the Duskmane Necrozma very safely.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't look like there's any route around the Trick Room if that's Big Slim's. Oh wait. Oh, okay. Sorry. I was misreading something in chat. It's something his mods couldn't do. It's just Nibs can't predict because he's a mod. So here, yeah, we do see that fake out here on turn number one, coming out from that Incineroar into the Moltres, followed up by the Thunderbolt from the Zapdos, and Porygon 2 safe to go ahead and set up that Trick Room. Now that Necrozma Duskmane is looking like it's probably in a really nice position. I imagine the fourth Pokemon on something like this could be that Tapu Fini. Probably one of the slower remaining Pokemon here for Big Slim, but I know I've also seen a little bit of sauce lately with a Brutal Swing Thundurus to self-proc the weakness policy on Necrozmas.
Very true. And like we already mentioned, that Metagross isn't carrying a weakness policy, so that wouldn't be able to proc that Metagross's weakness policy in the event that it did switch in on the right turn.
Yeah, for sure. So another interesting thing here too is that Porygon 2 on turn 1 got the attack boost, so this Tri-Attack not going to be doing quite as much as if it had gotten the special attack boost. It still does about a third chunk here, following up with a Flare Blitz from this Incineroar into the Zapdos, bringing it down. Looks like it's in range of another Tri-Attack there.
It sure does. Moltres is just going to opt for the foul play into the Incineroar, which does a little bit of damage. Probably the best thing that Moltres has to hit the Incineroar. But the double up is going to go ahead. Oh, it lives and gets its
on
berry.
1 HP, gets its berry, and it looks like it is a pinch berry with the Magoo berry or Mago berry. I don't know how to say that. But oh my gosh, that was so close. Yeah, the Black Glasses boosted foul play, did more damage than I would have originally thought into an Incineroar. But yeah, that is a clutch survival from that Incineroar, now threatening basically a KO into the Zapdos as well as some damage into the Moltres. Or this Incineroar could decide it wants to stick around for something later.
It's very true. We see Turtle in the chat saying Incineroar is stupid. I agree. There's never a situation, or rarely a situation, when it doesn't get its berry. If it has one, it's crazy.
Yeah,
we do see the Zapdos go down.
Yeah, and the double up from this Incineroar takes that Moltres down. It is a critical hit, doing a bunch more damage in there, but it is going to be in range of just about anything after this Berserk boost on this Moltres.
Yeah, it might be able to take out this Incineroar, though, with this Fiery Wrath, with this Berserk boosted Fiery Wrath. It is enough to get it this time. But that Porygon is still relatively healthy, sitting on the field, maybe trying to disrupt this game for Zordor.
Yeah, it's a really tough position here for Zordor, though, because that Porygon 2 is pretty much in a position to take out the Moltres before it has an opportunity to move, which allows this this Necrozma Duskmane to just go ahead and solo into that Urshifu. And if you're worried about something like a Focus Sash or something like that, you could double into that slot. And, you know, just be able to take an unboosted, I guess it is +1 from the Berserk, Fiery Wrath, and probably just proc your Weakness Policy if you're Dynamaxed.
Very true. Duskmane Necrozma is an interesting Pokemon that I've seen more and more. I guess last month on Ladder. I haven't been on Ladder this month yet, seeing as how it's the first day. But yeah, it's a Pokemon that I've been seeing a rise in usage. I don't know if that's true or if that's just what I'm seeing, but it does have a lot of the same moves that the Solgaleo, which of course we've seen through Series 8, has. So let's see what happens here.
Yeah, the one thing you don't get with versus a Solgaleo is actually the fact that you don't have that full metal body.
That ability.
Yeah, so you don't basically have clear body, so you can be intimidated, but your first attack does significantly less thanks to that Prism Armor ability. We are going to see a max here from Zordor. It's not what you think it is. We're about to see a max Urshifu.
I mean, it seems to be the best option. You know, if we're assuming that Zacian's in the back, that Moltres is really, really low on health. The Zacian can't Dynamax, so here we are with the Urshifu, which of course is threatening super effective damage onto the Duskmane Necrozma.
Looks like we might be seeing a double up here with the Tri-Attack there, followed up by the Max Quake. Not actually doing quite as much damage as I might have expected. This G-Max One Blow might do quite a bit of damage into this Necrozma. Not a calculation I'm really familiar with, I'll be honest.
Me neither.
Ooh, and the Fiery Wrath breaks the the Prism Armor, that's the name of the ability, first, so it is going to be doing slightly less here with the Max Knuckle, interestingly enough.
I wonder if this is into the Porygon.
Yeah.
And it is enough to get it.
So, Prism Armor doesn't break. Yeah, you're right. I was thinking of...
it's the Lunala ability, Shadow Shield.
Yeah, Shadow Shield. That's what I always mix up all of the different Necrozma and Lunala ones because I'd never used Lunala. But
Prism Armor just lessens the damage of super effective attacks.
Yeah, so it's like the Rhyperior ability as opposed to the Lunala / multi-scale ability. For sure. So yeah, in this positioning, now with the boosted... now with a boosts onto that Necrozma Duskmane, you're in a position where that Foul Play is going to be doing even more damage coming from this Black Glasses boosted Galarian Moltres doing just, 1.2 on top of everything else. That's going to be quite a bit of damage here.
Very true. I wonder if this Necrozma has something like a Steel Spike. Oh, there we see it. Because the choice of Quake on the last turn, I kind of wondering, the Quake with the special defense boost, I guess it could protect you against that Moltres a little bit. But the Urshifu was really maybe the one that you wanted to worry about damage from. But the Moltres is just going to go down to, I think it was a Thunderbolt from Thundurus.
A Wild Charge.
As Trick Room, Wild Charge, sorry. As Trick Room does expire and the Zacian is going to hit the field.
Yeah, the Zacian's in a good position now. Able to go for something like a Sacred Sword into that Necrozma Duskmane, or go for some damage into the Thundurus as well. So
interesting.
Being able to
it's a play rough Zacian.
Yeah, Nibs was talking about how play rough Zacian is definitely better earlier today during his team building stream. So I'm excited to see how this kind of works out in this endgame here. We do see the Zacian moving first, getting the play rough off into that Thundurus. No misses this time around, but that Thundurus will be going down for Slim. And now the G-Max One Blow comes out. This is +1 boosted, super effective. It lives on 1, even without the Steel Spike boost last turn, as the max Steel Spike this time comes out into the Zacian, and that's a 1-hit KO on the Zacian.
Yep.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of damage. Unfortunately, I don't really see... Slim doesn't have any other Pokemon left, and now it's just this Urshifu versus this 1 HP Necrozma Duskmane.
And the Necrozma can't protect. I think it's a wrap.
Yeah, the only way potentially is if you try and call the Sucker Punch, which would be a bad play, and go for something like Trick Room. Like, that's about your only play, is you hope that your opponent goes for the Sucker Punch as opposed to the Trick Room. But nope, we just see the Wicked Blow here.
No need to go for Sucker Punch on this turn, though.
Exactly.
When you outspeed the Necrozma.
Exactly. So we see Zordor take game number 1 here in set number 2. This is a reminder, for all these games tonight, the winner will be sent an ATX VGC Choice Band. So that is super exciting. And we're going to be doing a giveaway during game 3. The person, you'll have the opportunity for having either Chase or Roller Coaster to play for you. And if they win, then you win the Choice Band, and we'll be sending that to you. So we're giving away 4 Choice Bands tonight. Super hype. All of this is a part of us trying to pump up and get a bunch of excitement going for our upcoming charity tour. If y'all are hanging out in the chat, exclamation tour, this upcoming Saturday, we're raising money for the Central Texas Food Bank. All you have to do to enter, $5 donation to the Central Texas Food Bank, and email that receipt or, proof of donation to atx.vgc@gmail.com, or DM one of the mods, and we'll be sure to get you your entry code into that tour. It's super exciting. We've already raised over $450, which is insanely awesome, and I'm super excited that we're gonna be able to help out our neighbors here in Texas.
Yes, exactly. If I'm Slim in this match, I think I'm going to maybe look at preserving that Porygon 2 a little bit better, maybe trying to get up a second Trick Room should time allow, so that the Duskmane Necrozma doesn't get caught using turns outside of Trick Room. Yeah,
I think the other thing that was big was the Incineroar going down kind of so quickly. The fact that the Incineroar was gone in turn 2, and you're not able to cycle Intimidate down onto the Zacian, and you're not able to establish fake out pressure outside of Dynamax and, threaten like a fake out plus attack into the Urshifu to take it out. So I think that really the key to that last one was that Incineroar going down so soon. And I think that Slim's going to have to be really careful to ensure that that Incineroar doesn't. And here we see the leads double shiny. We've got the Necrozma Duskmane as well as the Porygon 2 against, I think, one of Zordor's favorite leads in this is Zapdos plus Metagross. I know I've seen it a couple of times on stream.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder how much Slim knows about this team. For example, does Slim know that this is not a weakness policy Metagross? I think this is a rematch of a ladder tour match, so you would assume that he does know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that Slim has played in past ladder tours and got pretty close. I don't know when the last one that he played. I knew it wasn't during the Red Zone this last week, which y'all should all come and check out on Thursday night here on atxvgc.com, or twitch.tv/ATXVGC, ATX_VGC. Y'all can check out our ladder tour. We do this ATX Red Zone where Rollercoaster commentates a ton of live matches at the exact same time, all going on in the ladder tour. It's a lot of fun, and y'all should come check it out. Also, you should participate because you can win a shiny Pokemon. So here we go. We see a turn 1 Dynamax coming out from this Necrozma Duskmane. Gonna be before the Trick Room is set up, but in a much, I think, a safer position this time all around than last time.
Maggie, I agree. Red Zone was so fun last week and so chaotic.
Yeah, Maggie's got the inside scoop of watching me frantically changing scenes, all like trying to keep up with Rollercoaster.
You and Rollercoaster carried though. It was so great.
It was a lot of fun, and we could not have done it without all of the people who streamed to our server and let us use their Twitch feed and everything else. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So here we see 2 Pokemon, 2 Steel Psychics, Dynamax here on turn number 1. We see it is the Thunderbolt into the Paralysis on the Necrozma. Here comes the Steel Spike into that Porygon 2. For a second, I thought that was like a Thunderbolt from the Porygon 2, and I was very confused. But no, it is from the Zapdos.
Yeah, that Steel Spike from the Metagross is going to be able to boost the defense. I'm not sure it's going to matter from this Rock Fall onto the Zapdos. Oh, it does. It definitely lives because that Necrozma doesn't yet have its weakness policy procced.
Maggie, thank you so much for the gift sub. Nino Pokebros, welcome, latest subscriber. What's up, Joel?
Yay!
Super exciting.
You guys want to stick around for the next match too, where we'll feature Nino Pokebros in a match right here on Monday Night Friendlies.
Yeah, we're gonna have Nino Pokebros against Jin Furai here in set number 3, right after the conclusion of this match right here. So now this Necrozma has to play those paralysis dice rolls, which is never a fun position.
Never a fun thing. And a paralysis off a Thunderbolt anyway is also just kind of You hate to see it. It's a 10% chance. It's like, this is not supposed to happen. And there's the full para.
There's the first full para. And the Porygon 2 will get the Tri-Attack off here into the Zapdos. It's going to do a pretty good chunk of damage, especially because this time I believe it did get the download boost for special attack as opposed to physical attack. And now the Steel Spike will come out, further buffing this Metagross's defenses. It's going to be pretty tough to kill at this point. It's got an Assault Vest. It's got +2 defense. Yeah, this is going to be rough.
Looks like the Urshifu might be coming out. I think that's probably the play. The Urshifu, maybe the Zacian. I mean, who knows? But I think that the Zacian is definitely a late game Pokemon that I see a lot during the end turns of a game. But Zordor opting to bring it in right now, saying, I don't know that this Necrozma can KO me without its weakness policy, and just going to threaten some big damage here.
Yeah, for sure. That is something, like, the other thing that's really scary about bringing out the Urshifu right now is that its Sash would automatically be broken by the sand this turn. So if Slim were able to take down the Urshifu, it would just basically a guaranteed KO. But yeah, with the Zacian, this threatens a lot more damage. And also, it's not, I don't think, really in threat of going down right here unless this Necrozma is able to get its weakness policy procced before it attacks, which in Trick Room, it's not going to be possible.
Slim opting to preserve the Porygon 2 to lay down that Intimidate on the Zacian.
Yeah, good Intimidate here. Going to go ahead and drop the boosted attack from that Zacian that it automatically gets from Intrepid Sword. And here comes a Max Quake from this into that Zacian. And again, it is close. It comes from that Necrozma Dustmane. It almost gets the KO, knocking it down to just about 5%. But unfortunately not going to be a KO if you're Bigslim here.
We see the Max Knuckle from Metagross, presumably into the Dustmane Necrozma. Not going to do a whole lot of damage to the Necrozma, but is going to re-raise the attack of Zacian and raise the attack of the Metagross itself.
Yeah, and now this Zacian, with the Sacred Sword, getting it boosted back up to +1 with that Max Knuckle, still not enough to take out this Incineroar. This is the little Incineroar that kid. You know, it does not want to go down. It lived on 1 HP from a double up last game. This game takes a +1 Sacred Sword from a Zacian at full, and, you know, perfectly into berry range there. So in a great position to where it threatens Fake Out this turn into either of these two Pokemon, and you can potentially get at least one KO. Maybe not. I think it's going to be really hard without a crit to get anything like a double KO.
Yeah, there's 2 turns of Trick Room left, and I've got to say, though, I really like how Zordor used those turns of Dynamax, using those turns to get boosts to both the physical defense and the attack, saying this Metagross is sticking around unless you have something to really deal with it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. +2 defense, +1 special, you know, from that Assault Vest. Now +1 attack as well. It's going to be tough. I'm trying to figure out what Slim's got here that can make its way through. Obviously, it's going to come down to this first turn is calling that correct. The Sunsteel Strike is just directed into the Zacian. Would have been enough, but here's the Darkest Lariat. That's one way to get around those Steel Spike boosts, because Darkest Lariat, does ignore any of those boosts. So now the +1 Brick Break is going to be enough to KO that Incineroar, though. But yeah, Darkest Lariat's a great move, kind of similar to the Sacred Sword, where you kind of ignore those defensive buffs so that you don't have to necessarily worry about that for your final damage calculation. That's one way to get around these setup Pokemon.
Those moves are so great in a Dynamax format, too, where things are constantly boosting different stats with their Dynamax moves.
Ooh, we could see something really interesting here. I know a lot of Tapu Finis nowadays are running Nature's Madness, which takes you down to half of your current HP. So that's going to be putting that Metagross in a lot stickier of a situation than I think it really wants to be here. So
Very true, but then there's also the threat of the paralysis chance with the Necrozma. That thing is still paralyzed, and this is the very last turn of Trick Room. So if, it can't move this turn, which is always a possibility when you're paralyzed, I don't know. I think Zordor may be able to squeeze this out.
yeah, this is gonna be close though. It could come
For
down to
sure.
those paralysis turns. I believe, has Bigslim already lost the Porygon 2, or did he bring that
Nope.
back? So yeah,
He still has it.
there's a potential, but yeah, this Tapu Fini is gonna have to be able to put in some work here.
No paralysis. We see the Sunsteel Strike come out, and it's going to be into that Urshifu slot, I believe, which takes it down to 67 HP, and the Iron Head into Fini from the Metagross.
Yeah, the +1 Iron Head bringing Tapu Fini just under 50%, proccing that Citrus Berry, guaranteeing now it's going to be a 3-hit KO. And we actually just see an Icy Wind here going ahead and trying to impact the speed order for next turn after the Trick Room has ended. I like that a lot, and there's a relatively fast Tapu Fini, it appears. Obviously, it doesn't lower the speed on that Metagross, but it does on that Urshifu, so you could potentially go for something like a Moonblast into that, or really any attack, any special attack non-spread is going to take out that Urshifu.
Very true. It looks like Zordor might just go for something like an Iron Head into the Fini again. That Urshifu probably does need to protect this turn. I think that Slim might have read into that, protecting that Fini.
Yeah, obviously not really a move you really want to click with Urshifu in the field to protect, but if you see the opposing as a Dark Urshifu and you are a Tapu Fini, if they're not carrying Poison Jab, you're not too worried.
Very true. Not threatening big damage there.
And we see a lot of protects and a lot of moves going around, and yeah, this Earthquake here, bringing that Metagross down to just about 46 HP. It's getting really close here. Yeah, in this positioning, it's kind of tough if you're Zordor, knowing that you're now -1. To get any damage off, you're going to have to probably go for something like a Sucker Punch. You're going to always be outspeeding that Necrozma Duskmane, especially because of that paralysis. But yeah, very, very interesting turn how this might turn out, especially considering what Zordor is looking at going for right now.
Yeah, you still have the Zacian in the back. Maybe you could get off a quick move with the Urshifu and then Earthquake your own Urshifu to get some damage. The Sucker Punch fails. I wonder what that Duskmane went for.
Yeah. Oh, it's going for Trick Room.
Yep.
Yeah. Unless it has another move like Swords Dance right here. I believe we're about to see a Trick Room. This +1 Earthquake's not going to be enough to take this out.
No.
And it does proc the weakness policy. Let's see if this Necrozma can break through its paralysis. Oh, it goes for the Swords Dance. It's not Trick Room. Oh my gosh.
This is my Pogo face.
That is a +4 Necrozma Duskmane if it ever gets to attack.
That's true. You still got that paralysis to worry about.
Yeah.
No Trick Room, though, so that means that this Zacian is certainly going to be outspeeding everything on the field. We know that Tapu Fini has access to Icy Wind. The question is, can it survive an attack from this Zacian to get one off?
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be tough here. Now this Necrozma is not really in a position where it's going to be able to attack without Trick Room being set up. This Tapu Fini is going to go down likely to any kind of attack from this Zacian. It's going to be it's tough positioning here, I think, for Slim. Gonna have to position that Porygon to back out to get a Trick Room up to have any shot of that Necrozma Duskmane sticking around, but I think that necessitates basically a double protect here. Like, I think he needs to get a protect this turn, break through the paralysis on that, break through the paralysis on next turn, get another protect while getting Trick Room up. Or you make the call that they don't attack into it next turn. I don't know. It's pretty tough. The paralysis is definitely hurting right now.
Yeah, I agree. And the Tapu Fini is just going to go down to that Behemoth Blade, a signature move of that winged dog.
And here comes the Brick Break. +1 Brick Break here from this Metagross. It's going to be enough to go and clean up that Necrozma Duskmane. I'm trying to think, does it even have enough moves? We've seen Protect on it, correct? Or have we not seen Protect? The Necrozma. We've seen Rockfall.
Oh, no, I don't think we have.
Oh, no, yeah, it doesn't have Protect or Trick Room. It's got Sunsteel Strike, it's got Rock Move, Rockfall, and then
Earthquake.
Yeah, I believe those are the moves that we've seen alongside the Sword Stance. So yeah,
Yep.
Yep, this Porygon 2, not going to be able to pull it back, I don't think, similar to Fiona's, as we just go ahead and see the cancel there from Slim, with Zordor winning here in set number 2 of the night. That was a really fun set.
Congrats, Zordor. Your choice band is on the way.
Yep, we will be sending out all these choice bands in the next few days, as soon as I get information from y'all on how to ship it to you. But yeah, that was super awesome.